and welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 and hits 103.9 FM in Accra and Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Volta Premier Ho, ATL Cape Coast, Lolonyo FM Ho and Kekeli FM Ho. Get radio, TV and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Gyakye Quayson beats the NPP's Charles Opoku to reclaim Assin North parliamentary seat despite an ongoing legal tussle.
I'm focused on how I can get Assin North developed. The court can take its own course.
We have details as he promises to resume work in the interest of his constituents. Also, Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament appeals to government to pay IPPs to prevent a looming power crisis as outstanding arrears owed them rises to 1.7 billion cedis. Also in business,
Aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management call for investigation into missing service in the custody of Iyoko. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
And as the clock ticks towards a major fuel shortage across the country, oil marketing companies raise alarm. More than 4,000 outlets are yet to refuel their tanks as tanker drivers strike inch past 72 hours.
But the larger picture is that the average Ghanaian cannot move really. Food will not move from the hinterland to this easily because they all rely on fuel. And if we can't get the fuel to them, obviously, gradually the country will come to a halt.
We'll bring you details as the Roads and Highways Ministry races to avert economic activity in the country grinding to a halt.
The Road and Highway Minister called me and said he would like to engage us tomorrow being Wednesday, being the holiday. But what we are looking for is only to fix the road for us.
I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Details shortly. After weeks of intense campaigning and an ongoing legal tussle, Gyakye Quayson of the National Democratic Congress emerged victorious in the Assin North by-election. After a keenly contested exercise, Mr. Quayson polled a total of 17,245 votes to beat his closest contender, Charles Opoku of the ruling New Patriotic Party, by 12,630 votes. Meanwhile, Bernie Sefenu of the Liberal Party of Ghana had 87 votes to finish third in the race. My colleague Parkwesi Shandoff has the following report.
I hereby declare Honorable James Gyakye Quayson as a member of Parliament elect for the Assin North constituency.
This is not Kumewu. We took Charles Opoku's money and spent it, but we did not vote for him. These were chants from some jubilant voters in Assin North after the NDC's James Gyakye Quayson was declared winner of the by-election, which many pundits and connoisseurs have described as the most keenly contested by-election in the Fourth Republic. The exercise started in the early hours of Wednesday morning with hundreds of voters queuing to cast their ballots. Despite strong assurances of thorough security preparations, there were minor disturbances, including the arrest of an imposter who was clad in a military uniform. This, however, did not distort the flow of proceedings, which was generally described as peaceful. Amidst the process, National Communications Officer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, Sami Jemfi, expressed confidence in his party's victory. According to him, the NPP's candidate was no threat at all. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the ruling New Patriotic Party, Bernard Entry-Boesiako, popularly known as Chairman Wuntumi, was equally confident about victory.
About 400 catcher, me said Nipa 26,000 now to Sisia.
26,000.
Sisia, me no catcher.
At the moment, the angels have told me that about 26,000 people have voted, out of which the NPP already has 16,000 of those votes.
Yeah, number 16,000.
But after all the results from all the 99 polling stations were received, it was the NDC's James Gyakye Quayson who emerged victorious. Had this to say.
I'm focused on how I can get Assin North developed. The court can take its own course.
And that was Kwesi Shandov's report. Now, the Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament has appealed to government to settle its debt to the independent power producers to prevent a looming power crisis. Government currently owes 1.73 billion cedis. The IPPs are demanding a 30% payment or they will shut down their plants on June 30. After meeting the IPPs on Monday, ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee, John Jenapo, says government must pull all strings to settle them.
We have impressed upon them to exercise restraint, maximum patience, and allow all of us to find an amicable solution. But the bottom line is that some payment ought to be made. I mean, government cannot just say, you keep supplying power, I won't pay you. Don't forget that they also have their financiers. They've taken debt from their financiers. So they ought to service their debt. They have debt obligation. So you can't just tell them that, look, keep supplying power. What about the monies ECG keeps collecting? What about the other monies that come to the energy sector? And so in as much as we impress upon them, I hold a strong view that government must make some payment.
Now, the Association of Oil Marketing Companies are raising alarm of more than 4,000 outlets across the country running out of fuel. The pump stations since Monday have not refilled their stock after tanker drivers declared a nationwide strike over terrible roads leading to its depots. Though the Road Ministry is scheduled to meet with the transporters today, Union Chairman George Nyonu said they will not back down on their actions.
The strike is still going on. Just yesterday, immediately we called the strike. In the evening, the road and highway minister called me and he said he's out of the country. So hopefully he will be in today. Therefore, he would like to engage us tomorrow being Wednesday, being the holiday. I said, okay, fine. As a honorable, we will give you that honorable respect. So anytime you are ready to meet us, we will call all the executives to meet you, to listen to what you have for us. But what we are looking for is only to fix the road for us.
Meanwhile, the clock is ticking towards a shortage in supplies, especially to gas stations. Vice President of the Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi, is warning of a shortage.
You know, unfortunately, this strike started on Monday. You know, we didn't work on Saturday. We didn't work on Sunday. Monday is the day we use to replenish the stocks which were depleted over the weekend. Unfortunately, Monday the strike hit, and it has continued till Tuesday. And I'm saying, by close of tomorrow, Wednesday, if the strike is not averted, we are going to have a very, very, very strong impact. And one thing is that even if we are able to avert it tomorrow, expect product to get to the countryside by somewhere Friday.
Small-scale miners in Tontokrom in the Amansia South District of the Ashanti region have called on government to establish a community mining scheme in the area to help end clashes with Asanko mines. The community has accused the mining company of taking over their lands, depriving them of access to opportunities. They believe the community mining scheme will support the youth to stay out of violence. There's more on the following report.
The expansion of the community mining scheme introduced by the government is expected to resolve incidents of illegal mining activities in the country. After its establishment in several mining communities, it has provided job opportunities for many. But miners in Tontokrom claim the absence of the scheme in the community has led to conflicts between the youth and Asanko mine. They want the government to establish the small-scale community mining scheme in the community to avert any form of attack on the mine.
We have been attacked on several occasions by military men from Asanko mines. Amansia is huge, so if one is commissioned at Achumanso, we should also get one at Tontokrom to employ over 10,000 people.
Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, George Mrekuduka, says the government will consult stakeholders on the way forward in establishing a community mining scheme.
So when they do that, what we do is to sit with all the stakeholders and find out the possible ways of getting them scheme launched.
Reporting for Joy News, Nana Boachi Dankwa Yadom.
Now, the highly anticipated debut of Osei Educhum Senior High School, named after the Education Minister, fell short of expectations as they struggled to make an impression in the Ashanti Regional NSMQ qualifiers. Despite the hopes and aspirations surrounding their first-time appearance, contestants of the school found themselves grappling with challenges, unable to assert their dominance among seasoned contenders. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku has more.
This is your first time coming to the National Science and Maths. How do you see it?
It was a thrilling contest. Looking at the competition from Aguna SDA, I think they did very well. We also did our part, but unfortunately for us, we couldn't qualify. We've not come out to any external contest before. This is our first time.
In fact, this is our first time to the contest. And with 18 points, we hope there is more room for improvement next year. For the stage first time, it was pressure though, yeah. Pressure was inside. I'm good.
And that was Emmanuel Bright-Kweku's report from Kumasi. That's it for the bulletin. In our top story, James Gyakye Quayson beats the NPP's Charles Opoku to reclaim Assin North parliamentary seat despite an ongoing legal tussle. I am Amisi Nyamche Thompson. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.